Welcome back. Welcome back to Adobe Live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. We are here live in the Adobe studios here in San Francisco, completing the last segment of the week for Adobe Graphic Design. I'm joined with the one and only Annie Hall.
Hi, guys.
Annie, you're back.
Yeah, I am.
Good week so
Last
far?
day, yeah. It's been really good.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
Good,
excited.
good. So if you've been following along, you know that Annie's been kind of just systematically creating a music festival campaign and kind of making it a little spacey.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. It was cool to watch that yesterday, especially with the blob.
Yeah.
So it also had kind of a retro feel to it.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool too.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
All right. So for those of you who are new, you can take part in the design challenge, which happens in about 90 minutes or 89 minutes from now. And if you want to know how to participate, just look up above the chat. You'll see a tab called Challenge. You can click on that tab, and what you're going to do is you're going to create a menu, two-page menu, using the InDesign template as a starter. You have to do it in InDesign. You're going to use the InDesign template to start. And then once you're finished with your entry, you're going to use the Publish Online feature in InDesign to turn it into a HTML5 document that we can showcase here on the stream. And then Annie will give a few critiques as well as pick the winner at that time. There's also going to be another drawing a little bit before that for something cool that many of you have already seen, but for those of you who are new, I won't tell you until that time. So Annie, you want to give a little bit of a recap on what you've been doing the last couple of days, and then we'll dive right in.
Yeah, so just starting out, this is the brief that I started with earlier this week. So it's a holographic music festival, and we ended up calling it Mars. So it'd be like Mars Music Festival. The summary for it is the first day we did the brand identity, the second day we're doing the series of posters, and then today we are doing the memorabilia for it. The tone and the visuals for it are more like outer space, galaxy type, but like
Very
at
cool.
the same time very fun and energizing, and have like a really playful color palette with it. And the target audience, so this is a wide range just because some people have grown up listening to these singers. Most of them I think are dead, but not all of them. I think a few are alive. And so just doing like this holographic festival and concert, and it would be really fun. And then today we are doing the memorabilia. So I think today what we're going to do, I'll go into it a little bit more, but I want to do like a lineup card, and then like a key pass or like some sort of lanyard pass. And then the third thing, if we have time for it, we'll kind of figure that out, I guess. I've been kind of playing
I think you'll
Yeah. So if we do that, we'll figure it out. But I also the first day showed this mood board. Let me zoom out a little bit. So with all mood boards, I typically find a lot of inspiration from like movies. For example, this project was inspired by the Blade Runner. One of the scenes in it was a holographic concert of Elvis Presley. And then I find also other inspiration just from anything from like books, zines, crazy different websites, stuff like that. So usually I'll gather an inspiration board, and then from there I'll pick and choose colors. So for example, like this yellow, it's a common color in a couple, the blues, the reds. So that's normally how I pick my colors for it. And then for the past couple days, for the first day we did a brand identity. So I'm just going to go through the work that we've done both on Tuesday and yesterday. So this is the primary logo, or like a letter form for the concert. We wanted it just to be very like groovy and fun, and that the M could stand for the entire concert just as its own. Mm-hmm. These are some secondary logos, so these could be used however. This is the tagline.
Yeah.
And then this is the color palette that we chose. some iconography a little bit.
I love, and again, I keep going back to
Yeah.
where that helmet started and what you ended up with.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Tremendous.
Definitely magic
Yeah,
there.
I love that.
Definitely one thing we did is switch the astronaut from left to right now,
Yep.
so that's the only
Good,
change
good,
on
good.
that. And then we built kind of like a really quick color scheme of how the colors could interact with each other. So we'll definitely refer back to this a little bit today. And then yesterday we actually did posters. So I've created a couple more and then I've mocked them up so you guys can see.
You are the mock-up queen.
Just, I mock up a lot of things.
You do.
So.
That looks great.
Thank you. So yeah, these are definitely different, but the idea is the poster's the same, but the illustration's different. So that's what we did yesterday. And then today we'll kind of carry over these elements from the brand identity and the posters and create some new different pieces.
Cool. I'm going to take a quick second to give some shout outs here. Voodoo Val, welcome back. Melissa, Jason Levine, celebrity Jason Levine from Adobe is here in the chat. Welcome, Jason. Cynthia, Darrow, welcome everyone. And Kevin, and if I missed your name, I will see it, I'm sure, in a few seconds when you keep chatting. But welcome everyone, Paul, Darrow, everyone else. Glad to see you here. If it's your first time, glad to see you here. And if it's not, glad to see you back. And keep the chat going. It also helps us keep things going as well. So when you ask your questions, we try our best to answer them.
Yeah.
And we do little tips and tricks along the way as well. All right.
Cool.
What are you going to do next?
All right. So I thought for the first thing that we could do today, I'll be working primarily in InDesign, but I was thinking of doing some sort of like a lineup card. So like maybe something that you get handed every day. The festival's 4 days, so the idea of handing someone a card with like the complete lineup schedule, and it's just mini, it can fit in your pocket, and then eventually they'll probably keep it just to be like, hey, I went to this. So the cards, I believe, are kind of like the size of a business card maybe, so maybe like 3 inches, 4 inches. And then from there I thought it would be fun to use the different icons, since we use some in the posters but not all of it. So I thought it would be fun to carry that over to those, and then just how it plays out and works on the card. So we'll do that first.
So Heidi's asking where'd the blob go? I thought I saw it.
Yeah, the blob is still there. This one doesn't have it, but this one
does. Okay.
has a new one. And then we saw this one yesterday. So yeah.
The blob lives.
The blob still lives. And it will today too. So
cool.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
How did you do that poster, or how did you put your design on the poster? In other words, how did you do the mock-up?
How did I do the mock-up? Photoshop. So I have a couple Photoshop, and hopefully by the end of today, I have a couple mock-ups that we can throw it in so you guys can see how I do that.
Yeah, and earlier this morning, we saw Ronnie do his mock-ups as well, and he used a site to get the templates from. At some point, we're going to hopefully, on one of these streams, do Adobe Dimensions for a lot of mock-ups, but it'd be cool to see that process too if you get to it.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely. Great. Cool. Alrighty, so one thing I'll refer back to is this kind of color scheme, and just how I've already worked with it. I really like the green and the yellow, and the pink and the blue, so we'll just kind of work with those as we go. So the idea is these cards are front and back. So the front I thought could be a very like powerful color with one of the elements that we designed earlier this week. And I have my swatches here. So we'll do this green. Get rid of this stroke. Okay, so I really actually like the green and the pink. So I think right now I might want to do something with that. So I actually have most of it saved in my library.
Look at you.
I know.
That library got built quite a bit. Library got built up quite a bit.
Yeah. So again, I just have these saved in my Creative Cloud library, and then I can just use them wherever, whether I'm in Illustrator, InDesign, everything like that.
I've got another library convert.
Yes, for sure. I'm not changing. I'm not copying pasting anymore. So.
My job here is done.
It's awesome. I'm just sizing this icon a little bit. So to the card. I want it to be a little bit smaller.
Wait. Did I just see you size the frame and then fit it again?
Yeah.
Do you want to size it at the same time?
Is there a shortcut for this? Okay.
Undo.
Teach me. Undo.
Hold down your command and your shift. Now when you scale it, it'll scale both at the same time.
Oh, this would save me so much time.
That's what I'm for.
Man, I don't know InDesign. I don't know that very well, so that's good to know. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking something just kind of a little bit smaller, and then the center will be the focal point, and then the idea is they'll turn the card around, and it will have the different lineups. So this is the front. Let's do the back. Okay. So again, I'm going to choose a different color. Maybe we can work with the pink this time. Let's see.
So you're basically in InDesign, and just recapping, laying out the various cards.
Yes.
Using elements from your library that you designed over the last couple days.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
And the colors also that you picked from your mood board.
Yep. These are all in it, and then I just drag it over. And yeah. I think I'm in preview mode.
You are.
I'm gonna go into normal since it's a little bit easier. That way you guys can see the columns as well, and the margins. So, all right. So
Matthew's asking, does the command shift also work in Illustrator? There's no reason to hold down the command, just the shift. So InDesign is the only one that requires both keys. So in Photoshop or Illustrator, it would just be the shift key.
Nice. I learn things every day.
So do I.
Okay.
Oh, here comes another entry. Don't look.
Okay.
Design challenge is well underway.
All right. So I'm just placing this and trying to fit it in the card right now, and then I'll go into. I usually switch back and forth between normal and preview mode just to like see what it looks like without all these like lines and boxes and whatnot. So you'll see me do that for a minute. I'm gonna draw a text box right here, maybe.
Yeah, Kevin, I wish it were that easy to put them all on a stick. But yeah, Matthew's got the right idea. Just head over to my YouTube channel and you can view most of my tips in the form of video content.
Nice. All right. The font I'm using is Jubilat, and I think for the main I've used the bolds and the bold italics. So for the secondary text, I'm gonna go down just a little bit.
Now, did I miss that? So everything looks good. Great. Where did the little O or circle come from the top?
So we added.
Is that something you did yesterday? Or is that something you?
I've kind of added it secretly a little bit.
Okay, secretly I'll.
Yeah, I think I kind of liked this idea of like keeping some like shapes in it somehow.
Okay.
I don't know if I included it. Oh, I did include it in the posters, so it was there.
Okay. All right.
So,
I missed it yesterday.
Man, yeah. But yeah, just kind of like a little fun, quirky touch to it. So, all right, just fixing up this. Maybe medium. No, I want to go bold. And then again, just fixing the kerning, doing the holding down the option, and then the right and left arrow keys will make it so it's, you know, more space between each letter, less space. So yeah, so we'll do the dates, and then let's see, have it in Los Angeles. And I'm just gonna make that a little bit smaller. And again, we'll kind of mess with the sizing of everything in a minute. All right. Just working on that. And then I want to do the lineup of each of all the singers and the times within these 3 rows. So I'm just gonna set a ruler to show where. Okay. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Then expand this row. Okay. So The secondary typeface that I'm using is the Freight Sands, and I think I've been using bold.
Cool.
Yeah, and then just like making the kerning a little bit more. I don't want to go too small. These cards are pretty small already, so I have to just be careful of like how small I'm going.
I'm cracking up. They're creating a virtual Terry to give you tips along the way.
Oh, wow.
Just it would be quite. you don't want that.
I do. That would be fun. Yeah.
Like the hovering art director. Where are those things, by the way? We used to have them around here, and you tap them, and they give you random advice.
But then if you don't know a shortcut, you know, your life's kind of saved right there. So I agree.
Keep going. All right. Well, only if you could give me back design tips then when I'm working on stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
fair
good.
enough. Okay.
All right. So let's see. Let's do 10 o'clock. So now I'm just doing the times for each. So maybe they're like 30-minute increments. I don't know. Then let's drop this down. Make it a little bit smaller. I really don't want to go past 8, so I'm going to keep it there. And then maybe just kind of add an element that will show it as a separator a little bit. Okay. I'm going to just change it to preview really quick so I can kind of get an idea of how this is looking. I feel like this is way too close to the... I think I'm lining it up with the margin a little bit. I'm actually going to change the margin so you can actually go into layout and then margins and columns and then increase or decrease the margin size. So yeah, that feels a lot better for me. So just readjust that. And then obviously it made the columns just a little bit smaller, but that's all right.
All right, I am going to share with you my favorite InDesign shortcut.
Okay.
Because I noticed you're going back and forth
Yes.
between normal and preview.
Oh,
W.
save my mouth again. W?
Yep,
Command W?
just W.
Wow.
As long as you're not in the text tool, because if you're in the text tool,
Oh.
then you're typing it W.
W. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much easier. Okay, well, cool. All right.
The virtual strikes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this and paste it. And then we'll work from there. Okay, I can't remember all the syncers I had, so if I need to, I have a backup list somewhere, but I'll just go for the ones I remember.
And Frank says, "Oh crap, I didn't know that." Thank you. If you're referring to the tip, you're welcome.
Oh. Okay. Let's see. Something's going on here. Let's see.
Yeah, I agree, Thomas. That is the best InDesign shortcut.
Well, don't know what's going on, but it's kind of working. Maybe it's...
What are you trying to do?
I don't know. I'm trying to change the text, but it's like doing something else. Maybe. No, well, that works.
Okay.
That works, I
We
guess.
just have to ask it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm just filling in these artists really quick. Okay.
That's Jason's favorite, the Beatles.
Nice.
Beetlejuice.
Okay. Again, just changing. I'll probably have around 3 or 4 different like artists and times in each column. So see if I can fit one more, and then we can work on the spacing between it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Oh, let's do. Remember them. All right.
I remember them.
I mean, vaguely, but okay.
Anita's saying, what about Ella Fitzgerald?
We can add them too. Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna fix the line height now. So I'm going to each name and holding down Option, and then the top and the bottom will increase or decrease line height, so just do a couple here. Might want to make, yeah, that feels better. Again, might have to change this ruler a little bit. Okay, yeah, that feels better to me. I may go just a little bit smaller, maybe. Okay. So yeah, just changing this up for a minute. Okay. That feels good to me. Again, just going back and like referencing where they are in the columns as well. I'll change the names for this. I guess someone commented yesterday and was like, you know, there's duplicates of the art. So I was like, yeah, I do know. So we'll change those, don't worry. Just want to see how it kind of works in this grid. I feel like it's a little bit clustered, so I'm going to just decrease some things. Once we figure this out, we can kind of apply it to the rest of the cards.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, those can be saved just as a tip. Those can be saved as style sheets so that you can apply them and then update the style sheet instead of having to highlight each one.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, slow part here.
I beat you to it, Frederick.
Okay. Yeah, that feels a lot better for me. Maybe make this a little bit bigger. Okay. And again, just like working with the kerning of it and how it all works together. Actually, might want to make this a bit smaller. Keep that there. Okay, so this feels pretty good so far. I may make this even smaller. And then move this up. Or down, I'm not quite sure. It's always test and trial. Okay.
And again, we're still designing the cards that we handed out each day. Got it.
Yep. So, all right, I'm gonna hurry and just fill in these names really quick. So.
And hello, Italy. Hello, Mattia.
Okay. Ooh, that one might be too long. Just kidding. Pretend I didn't type that at all. Blinking here. The Beach Boys. Do you have any favorites?
Did you put in Ella Fitzgerald?
Oh, no. Let's see.
I think it's one L. I'm not sure. I think it's one L.
1 Like that?
I think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Could be two L's.
Cool.
Now you're going to make me look.
I think I have like a backup list somewhere in my library. Let me hurry and just pull it out.
Oh, no. It's two L's.
2 L's?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, something just doesn't look right, but it was. You were right the first time.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good suggestion. Prince.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Prince. I like that. Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday.
We'll add that.
Michael Jackson.
And
Since I'm always making the Annie, Are You Okay reference.
yeah, might as
Yeah,
well. We
gotta
have
put
to
'em in
have
there.
it on there now.
Someone else said MJ.
And let's do Stevie Wonder. Okay. Awesome. I'll just like hurry and update these times. Or actually, we'll just leave them for right now. Okay. To me, that feels pretty good.
Looks good.
Yeah.
I like it. Nice
Yeah.
and clean.
So we'll kind of apply this, but just with different colors.
All right. So before
yeah.
we go on, Zoom back in on that last one you finished.
Okay.
So once you get a style that you like, in other words, she's made everything fit, it looks good, what makes this easier to apply to future ones or to make changes to it? So highlight like any one of the artists, Elvis Presley or anybody.
Okay.
Just put your cursor in there.
Okay.
Oh, double click.
Double click it.
Yep, and put the cursor, yeah, anywhere there. Okay, so now if you go to your, go up to the window menu. I just can't see it from here. Window menu up here.
Got you.
And come down to styles.
Oop.
And then choose paragraph. Now if you click the new icon at the bottom.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Double click on it after paragraph 1, double click, and call it artist. So that will pick up everything that's been applied to artist. So now click OK.
Okay.
And highlight the one below it, which is the time. Just put your cursor anywhere in the time slot there.
Maybe. I don't know why it's just selecting. Oops.
Oh.
Technical difficulties. Yeah. For some reason.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So same thing. If you hold on your Option key and click the new, that'll just prompt the name, and then you could go ahead and put in time. Click OK. And now what you would do is so you put your cursor in each artist just one time, just like clicking Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
And then click artist. Oh, then it's going to change the
line. Yeah.
above. Hold on, undo. Just don't highlight the whole thing. Just put your cursor there. Now try it. Artist. I was still going to change the lighting. So we'd have to go in and tweak the lighting. But anyway,
still,
if you go in now and change artist or change time, it would affect all the ones that have been applied, that it's been applied to. So if you want to change the color to blue or change the font to a different size or change it to a different font, it'd be easier to change the style now than to go in and highlight each individual entry.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, so that's what your style sheets would help you with in the future. You can also use character styles as well.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind because I always need that.
It just makes updating going forward and applying them to new things going forward much easier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm just copying and pasting this over to the next one. We'll do a new...
So someone said your timeline, the lighting was set to 0, and that's why it was moving it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Just didn't want to dissect it. Trying to figure out what it was, but
Gotcha.
thanks for the tip.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we'll create a new card, different colors. So again, I really wanted to use the icons because I feel like we only use the planet one. I think this is a really good opportunity to also use like the letter form or like secondary logos or even just the tagline. So yeah, so let's go into the library. We can find a different one. Like for example, like just using the M. And then sizing it up and just having it fit in that middle part. And then I'm just kind of referencing back and forth. The nice thing about like having this kind of color combo so that I can see like, okay, I really like the pink and the blue, I really like the green and the yellow, and then like these darker colors and whatnot. So sometimes I'll reference that again just so that I remember which ones work well with each other. Okay, so I'm just adjusting this. Awesome, okay. And we'll change maybe the color of this. This background, maybe we'll make it blue. Or maybe we'll make it yellow. I'm not necessarily wanting to do like a duo tone for all of these, so okay. And then let's make all of these blue. So just really quick.
So Daniel, yes, you're allowed to pretend that the Adobe Dimension icon stands for your name. It's totally okay.
Okay.
Hello, Vicky.
So I'm just adjusting this. Okay. So again, I just adjusted the colors. So that's the new card. again, these would change each day, but for right now, we'll just do one day. Okay, let's do the next card. I'm only gonna do 3 sets of them, so this will be our last one. Okay. Maybe this time we'll do a green one, since I really like this green. Actually, we did a green one, so maybe not. Maybe we'll do red. Or maybe, sorry, so many to, yeah, we'll do red. Red looks good. Okay. And then maybe for this one, we'll do another icon, or maybe, well, actually, let's do a tagline. I like doing the tagline.
So, Mattia, you're asking about the zoom in InDesign. It is Command plus on the Mac, Command minus. What's the problem you're having with it?
Okay. Just working on those colors for this one.
So Naomi says, I noticed your color palette's RGB. Shouldn't it be CMYK for print?
Yeah, if you're going to print them, it should be CMYK.
I also think it just really depends on your printer, because a lot of printers can print with an RGB color space.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
Yeah.
It's no longer a hard set rule that it has to be CMYK to go to printing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that is a good thing to watch and observe,
yeah, keep
and
in mind.
keep in mind.
It's definitely interesting how like your colors will definitely change. You'll know when it's in CMYK. So.
Yeah, and that's also another tip that a lot of people just recommend, even if you don't know, to always design with your colors in CMYK, because then you won't be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you don't design in RGB and you have to go to CMYK, then you might be disappointed because the colors will shift.
Yeah, I've learned the hard way plenty of times.
Yep. So. But I would just, again, depend on the printer you're working with, what they can and can't handle.
Okay. Just fixing this up. Okay, so I think those are going to be our 3 cards. So the top card is the front.
Love that helmet.
Yeah.
Space guy.
It was definitely a jump from what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Originally, I was like, I don't know.
It came back. That came out perfectly.
Yeah, so we've got the front, and then the bottom's the back. Again, just having us play with the color. Making sure there's not a stroke on
Cynthia
it.
says, love the cards.
Thank you.
What about the color space on monitors? Do you use sRGB? Well, again, if you're really into color, you'd profile your monitor, and it will create a profile based on your monitor and the situation you're using for printing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How much time do you have left for the challenge? You have 57 minutes left for the design challenge.
All right. Now what we'll do is the lanyard. So I just sized it from the mock-up that I had, which you guys will see later. But so this is the idea that it's like a around your neck lanyard, and like maybe there's a barcode they can scan it. You just have to wear it every day. And again, just like keeping it consistent with the branding. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like start going for it. I want to include, one thing I definitely don't want to do is like repeat elements constantly throughout it. So I'm trying to come up with new different ideas for it. So if you guys have suggestions, I have a couple, but they may not work. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Okay, so let's start off with a pink. And then one of my ideas was to incorporate the blob. So whoever was wondering about the blob, it's coming back. Okay. And I think we might be able to change the color of it. Maybe not. No.
Try the direct selection tool and click into it. Let's see. Where did the blob originate from? Was that something you created in Illustrator?
I think I might have this might be a flattened version or something. Yeah. So let me go.
Or if you have it open in Illustrator, you can always copy and paste it. That way it'll come in as vectors.
Yeah.
So another InDesign tip. If you want to be able to edit something you've done in Illustrator in InDesign, then you want to do a copy and paste as opposed to a place. Because a place will place it in as a linked graphic. Therefore, you'd have to go back to Illustrator to update it. Copy and paste the vector, so then it's no link to the original, and InDesign can manipulate it at that point.
Cool. All right. Just gonna change the color.
And if it's in a library, I believe if you option drag it in or alt drag it in, that will also break the link and make it editable.
Awesome. Okay. So I thought about incorporating the waves or these crazy curves in with it, but not a magnified blob now, not necessarily a thing. And I think, are you able to cut things in Illustrator, InDesign?
In what way? What do you want to cut it
like
to
a
do
clipping
what?
Like a...
Well, actually, the frame becomes the mask. So
That's
if you
true.
just want to resize the frame without holding down Command-Shift, then that will crop it.
Okay.
So just, resize the frame without holding down anything, and that should
Gotcha.
Crop it without scaling.
Oh.
Naomi says, where did the idea of the blob come from?
I really liked the idea of doing something that was outer spacey, and I feel like a lot of futuristic, I feel like this holographic concert is pretty futuristic, so I feel like that, usually the vibe of it is very dynamic and just, for me personally, that's what I think. So this blob's just this fun, abstract, something I wouldn't picture with futuristic. So that's kind of where I came up with that.
Kevin says it came from Mars.
Yep, Mars too.
There we go.
Gotta add credit for that. But yeah.
The blob with Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just figure out this thing real quick. Again, I'm not sure if this will work, but I'm gonna try.
Matthias says, really love the yellow.
Thank you. Okay.
Kathleen's scooting out of here. Literally, she's got a scooter.
Oh. Okay. So maybe adding some of these waves, and then I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the blob. We'll bring it back. Don't worry. So let's add the logo in. Maybe we'll do blue. Again, I think these margins might be a little bit too small for me. So I'm gonna go into layout and then margins and columns and just add in a little bit more.
So Charles is asking the question that I think we demonstrated this yesterday. Hang on, let me get set up here. I can show you how to do that again. Okay, so the question was how did you have different size pages in InDesign? So let me show you guys how to do that real quick. So I've just created a one-page 8.5 by 11 document inside of InDesign. If I go ahead and create a new page, there is a tool in your tool panel called the Page tool. It's actually, you can get to it with Shift-P. Once you're on the Page tool, then you can actually go in and specify the size of the new page. So if I were trying to make this a business card size, for example, I could do 3.5 by 2. And now that new page is the business card. And of course I can keep going. I can say make another one. And oh, this actually had business card as a preset. Oh, let's see, they don't have envelope though. They do still have compact disc, just in case, for your music needs. But anyway, we'll go ahead and same thing. We'll take this page and we'll make this one 9.5 by, I think, Ronnie told me it was 4.5 or 4.4. 4.5 for a standard number 10 envelope, I believe was the size, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, that's how you make different size pages inside of InDesign. So InDesign works with pages. They can be different sizes, of course, and have as many as you want, up to, I believe, 9,999 per document. Illustrator and Photoshop work with artboards, and artboards can also be different sizes. So all three applications now support different size media in the same document.
Nice.
All right.
Ah.
Continuing on with Annie.
All right. So I'm just working on this blob wave. So I like the idea of doing some sort of like half and half or something. So the idea maybe that all the information they need to like scan in or about the concert can be in the pink, and then the top can kind of be this like,
I like where that's going.
abstract thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we used in the branding a lot was patterns. So that would be fun to incorporate that as well. And I think I don't have it in my swatches, so let me grab it real quick. Okay. There we go. Okay. So again, just like adding this in for a second. It also might be interesting to move this around. We'll play with it. And then also incorporating the blob in a different way as well, too. So maybe with the name, I keep moving this. There we go. Okay. Today is not my day with InDesign. Okay, keep moving it. There we go. There we go. Okay. Today really isn't my day with InDesign, as I'm finding out. Okay.
Oh, what's going on? Sorry, I missed it.
I was like just trying to grab things for a minute.
Oh.
Wasn't working. All right, so I'm going to put the blob behind, just doing command, and then the left bracket puts behind, or if you do the right bracket, it'll bring it forward. And maybe having this blob interact with the actual logo. And I'm wondering if we'll just do the logo without the circle for right now, because maybe that would be better. But I don't know if I want it pink. So we'll just play with this for a second. And that's all I want to do. So I'm just going to abandon that idea. Okay. We'll work on that. So again, just shrinking it, trying to fit it in, and see how it interacts with this weird shape. Okay. So right now that's feeling somewhat pretty good. Again, zoom in, like make sure there's not any weird like spacing issues.
Mm-hmm. Matthew, I'm glad that these streams are helping you get back in the loop.
Yeah. Okay.
And libraries can quickly become unwieldy if you don't stay on top of them and get rid of the ones you don't use anymore, or merge the content into fewer libraries. You can end up with a ton. I think we did a count on day one, and I had like 74 libraries, and someone had 90. So yeah, it's time to do a little library house cleaning.
Yeah. Okay. Add some text here. So we'll put the dates of the concert.
Yep, and we have just around 46 minutes left for the design challenge entries. So if you're working on your menu, you got about 45 minutes left. 46 minutes left.
All right. So again, just working with the spacing. Okay, so key passes. I probably need the name of the concert, like the branding, obviously, the dates, location, and then maybe like something that talks about the ticket or like what their pass is, like if it's all-inclusive, or I don't know what type of, right? Do you think there's more to a key pass? Barcode to scan you in.
Barcode, date, time, event, because you also sometimes people keep those things as memorabilia, so they want to know all the details from it as well.
Yeah.
Even though technically it's not needed to be printed.
Yeah. Okay.
The menus make me hungry, Daniel says.
I've heard that a lot actually this morning. I was watching earlier live streams and everyone's like, I'm so hungry now. So.
The menus have been very entertaining. You guys are very creative. I like that.
Okay. Actually, just gonna copy this over.
Yep, Jonathan, yours did just come in. I see it here. Let's see what it looks like. And yeah, Jonathan, great job. I like it. No peeking.
Okay. So I'm just adjusting. So I just have this barcode. I changed the colors in it a little bit earlier just to have it match this blue instead of black. So we'll place that there for right now.
Whoa, where'd the barcode come from?
Okay, where did it come from?
Mm-hmm.
So these are little rectangles. So usually,
so you actually made it.
No, I didn't. I Googled PNGs for it and then looked. I've tried making them. They're way time consuming. So.
All right, time for a mind blower feature.
Yes.
Hold on, let me make sure I've got my thing together here. Hold on 1 second, Paco. Don't switch to me just yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, just want to make sure I knew where it was. All right, ready for this? Let's take a quick tip break. So this was a document we just worked on where I created the different page sizes, and so I just created a frame on the last page just because it was handy. And InDesign implemented a few years back the ability to generate QR codes right inside the application.
Oh.
So you can go to generate QR code, you get your choice of plain text, web hyperlink, text message, email, or business card. You can even fill out your business card and that will become a scannable QR code. But let's just do a hyperlink. Let's just say that, hey, we want people to be able to use their phones, scan, and go straight to behance.net/live. And when I click OK, oh, you can also specify the color. So we'll leave it black, but anyway, we'll click OK. And that will generate your QR code
Oh.
for people that still use QR codes.
I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe I should. Well, now I kind of want to make one. I think.
Well, you can.
Cool. Yeah.
You can. Just
Let's
create
do
a frame and
Okay.
go for it.
Awesome. Let's make this work with the columns. Okay, so
Object
objects.
and generate QR code.
Oh, right there. Cool. And then you just type in what, like the link for
Well,
it?
no, change it from plain text to hyperlink.
Gotcha.
Web hyperlink at the top. Now you can put in the URL.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna
You're
do.
gonna make it up.
Okay, I was like, there's not a real one. We'll just do this. Dot.
Or it could be your website.
Yeah, let's do my. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
do
do
your
Behance or
portfolio.
something. Yeah.
See how that becomes double-edged? Like
There we
you
go.
just use it
Yeah.
for dual purpose, self-promotion and teaching.
Yeah. Okay, we'll make it blue. Ooh.
Boom!
Yeah.
That's it. Isn't that
I like
cool?
that. That's cool. Okay, so we'll do
And
that.
it's a functional, QR code. If you scan that with your phone, it would actually take you to that site.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I like that. I actually maybe this is just me and I'm just way behind, but Apple, if you take a picture of a QR code, it will automatically see it and take you to the site.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that, so.
Actually, the mobile browsers now, especially Chrome on iOS, it's built in. So I used to have a separate QR code app.
Okay,
And now I don't even need a separate app anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's way nice.
I mean, they are kind of one of those things that they were hot for a minute, and then everyone was using them. Then all of a sudden, no one was using them.
Yeah.
But they're still useful. They still work.
I remember I used them when I lived in the dorm, and you could find out if your washer or dryer was done.
Yeah.
So I just scanned it, and it's the only time I've ever used them.
They still have a use. But the creative community has decided they are bad. Never use them.
Oh. All right, so I'm just working on some like secondary type right now. So I'm thinking maybe we can incorporate this M. Maybe.
And also, you can, it doesn't have to be that big. It can be smaller. And still work.
True. Yeah, that's pretty big.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that. Like, oh. Okay, let me just adjust.
Yep, QR code's great for tickets. You're welcome, Anaga.
Okay. So we'll do like admit. Let's see. I'm trying to think how to word this. Maybe like. Remember, this is a 21. Let's do or older. Festival, so I'll include that just in case. Okay. So again, just working with this.
Here's the one thing to remember about QR codes. While you may think they're like dated and don't want to use them anymore, that's fine, it's your choice. But I've yet to find a person that said, you know what, I scanned in this QR code and it worked, and I wish I had just typed everything in. No one complains about them when they use them in work. Yeah. It's like it did what it was supposed to do. So there is that it does save me from having to remember the URL or type the URL in, especially on a printed piece like this.
Yeah.
Dang it, I wish they didn't use the QR code and I had to type the URL in. How dare they save me time?
I know all the tickets that I've like done while we've been in San Francisco, like all the museums and stuff, all QR codes, so I don't know. Maybe they'll come back.
Yeah, they could make a comeback starting today.
Giant comeback.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, just like fixing this. Okay, so this is a pattern we've used. Not quite sure where I want to place it, but we will see. Maybe we'll put it behind the blob. Maybe behind that as well. I don't know.
Yeah, Mitch, that's another good use. As a matter of fact, on one of my drones, the way you connect to it is via Wi-Fi, and it has a QR code for the Wi-Fi URL and hotspot and everything. So you just scan it with the app, and you're connected to the drone, as opposed to having to type it all in manually.
Okay, I'm gonna come up with a fake address.
Can you shape the QR code like the icon, or does it have to be a square? It has to be a square, but there are some techniques that people have used to design part of the QR code like to be in a special shape, like a logo. InDesign doesn't do that for you, but there are applications out there that can actually make it more like visually pleasing. Yes, you can color it. Color doesn't matter. And she made hers blue, so you can make it whatever color you want.
Okay, let's put a fake address in there, so. Just mess with that. So much QR code talk
here. QR code debate continues to rage on. 36 minutes for your design challenge entries.
Okay. Bring in this M. Okay, so I'm just working with aligning everything. Making sure this M starts where kind of the top of the QR code so that they're both on the same way. Okay. And then just switching back into preview mode to see how that works as well. Let's see. Another thing I could do is maybe some sort of line, like a dotted line. I know this is a lanyard, so you can't, it's not like an actual ticket, but maybe we could add like some dots or something.
So Kathy's asking, not a QR code question. She's asking a library question, and it's, I don't have a great answer for you, but the question is basically, is there a technique or a tip or a way to archive a library, meaning that I don't need the library anymore, I kind of want to keep all the stuff in it though, like back it up and then delete it. Unfortunately, there is no, that I know of, no archive for the library, so it's either you want it or you don't, and if you don't need it anymore, you can delete it, but then the content goes away too. So I guess my tip would be if let's say I had a library and it had 20 things in it, but I kind of wanted to keep one of them, I might move that one item or copy that one item to a different library and then delete the library. So that way it gets rid of the other 19 or 20 that I don't need.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a better tip for you than that with the archival of libraries. It is a good feature request, I agree.
What did I just do? Okay, let me try that again.
Yeah, it would be nice if it had like a right click, download this library to a folder, and then you could delete it.
Okay. Not sure if this line is gonna stay or go, but we'll see. So again, just like messing with it. Someone made a smart, I did 21 or older, and they're like, wait, that doesn't work. Thanks for catching me on that. Okay. So, 4-day pass, we'll do the address as well. I'm trying to think.
All right, let's see. Someone says there, hey there, if you go to the web to manage it, there is an archive. Let me check. I would be happy to know that if there is. I'm waiting for it to load in my browser. So there's copy, there's rename and permanently delete. There's all the sharing options, of course. But I'm not seeing an archive for the library items. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way to archive the library. And again, 32 minutes left for the design challenge.
I think I'm gonna add some sort of like color blocking to this. I don't know. We're just going with it. Again.
I like the spot of red there.
Yeah. Maybe we can do like a featuring. Not all the artists, but maybe just like, I know granted they all are like huge anyways, but maybe we can do like a feature. So let's see. Just do 3 columns again.
Cheryl says, where's the green?
Where's the green? Well, we should add the green. I like that. I think the green is probably my favorite. That or the pink. I'm always for like pastel pink, so I'm trying to get like away from it a little bit. Obviously not doing so well, but
Okay. All right, so there were at least 2 entries for the design challenge that came in the wrong format. So make it a PDF, that doesn't count. Giving us a Google Drive link, that doesn't count. It's got to be published with the InDesign Publish Online feature because that's the rule of the contest. So I hate to see you go through all that work and not be eligible to win because you didn't simply use InDesign or use the Publish Online feature. So you still have time to resubmit it. If you were one of those couple of folks that submitted it in the wrong format, you still got a shot at it if you within the next 30 minutes, resubmit it using Publish Online. It's not fair to the people that did it the right way if we give it to the person that didn't do it the right way.
Okay. Just adding this featured list a little bit. Okay. Again, just working with my color palette a little bit.
Matthew says Elvis lives.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely.
So we are at the top of the hour. There's 30 minutes left for the design challenge entries to get those in. And because we're at the top of the hour and still have 30 minutes left, that means it's giveaway hype time. So you will have your choice, if you're a winner, of the Photoshop pillow, or the socks are down there on the floor, I see them. The Illustrator pillow, or the Adobe socks, which I can't reach because they're in front of me on the floor there. But anyway, the Adobe socks. So hype up the chat, tell us why you want to win, tell us which one you want to win, and if you win, you will get your choice of one of those items.
All right.
Paco looks like he's going to rescue the socks. No, no, he's not.
Maybe. Just doing a quick featured list. Again.
Socks are being rescued as we speak. Here they come. Ooh, look at see how they flew in virtual space there. Socky time.
Okay.
Are they cozy socks or thin? I don't know. You be the judge of that. Are those cozy or thin?
I think they're cozy.
Cozy?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd call them cozy.
I'm not a sock person. I mean, I wear them, but
I'm not the best
judge
sock
them.
person
I
either, to
don't
be
judge
honest.
them by
But
coziness or not. But they are definitely fashionable.
yeah. Agreed. Okay.
Photoshop pillow, socks. I've been trying for 3 days.
Okay. All right, just working on this a little bit. I think I'm getting the colors. We may just not do the green. I'm not quite sure yet. But if I can make a way in for it, I will. Okay.
All right, I'm waiting for the winner. It's coming over. This just in. And the winner is Ana Corrado y Silva. Ana Corrado y Silva, you have won your choice of Photoshop pillow, Illustrator pillow, or how come we don't have an InDesign pillow?
Yeah.
Just don't have it yet? Okay, anyway. Photoshop pillow, Illustrator pillow, or the cool Adobe socks, which do have, let's see, it does have the InDesign logo on the socks. So if you're an InDesign person, you want that logo, there it is. Congratulations, Anna. And Gus will reach out to you if he hasn't already to get your information and which choice you want.
Okay, I think we're almost done with
Ooh,
this.
I see artists.
They're coming. Yep. They're all kind of repeated right now, but just working with that and how it works with the wave. Maybe adding that.
Can you believe we only have 51 minutes left in the segment?
It's so crazy.
I know, this time is flying.
Yesterday, I was like amazed how quick it went, so it's going even quicker today. All right. We're just about done. I think after this, we should start mocking things up. And then if we have time, we'll add
Ooh, yeah, I'm dying to see your mockups.
maybe
So,
a keychain, yeah.
mockups, keychain, I'm going to say I want mockups.
Mockups, yeah. Me too. I'm a mock-up fan, so. Okay.
How many minutes left? So you have 25 minutes left for the design competition, and about, I don't know, 50 minutes left for this whole segment. Can we have Terry White pillows? I'll see what I can do. No promises.
Perfect. Okay.
Mock-up hype, says really well. I'm excited too. I'm always intrigued by the mock-up. God's already kill you. I'm always intrigued by the mock-up process.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a million ways to do it and 1,000 different ones as well. So it's fun to see what people choose. Okay.
That was a good one.
Okay. I'm just working on this and just seeing the placement a little bit. Okay. Thinking maybe, trying to think where I want this to keep it balanced a little bit, but like not this random wording just like in the middle of a key card.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. Do you like
But one,
Yeah.
just the one thing that's sticking out for me is I like the red square, but I'm not happy about the red type.
this type?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Do you think I should have the feature or just like scrap it? Because I'm not like sold on it, to be honest, so I don't know. Maybe what you
Yeah,
guys
I like
think.
the red square because that stands out.
Yeah.
But the red type just feels hard to read at this point. I don't know.
Or do you
You're the
think like
designer.
change the colors?
Yeah, I'm thinking change the color.
Cool. Let's try that.
Oh, what do you think, chat?
Yeah.
If you're okay with the red type, then we'll go with it. But
I don't know about the red. Maybe this blue. I don't want to add all the colors in one. So maybe see what you guys think about the blue.
so I'd make the logo red and the text blue.
Okay.
Move the yellow. Oh, so scoot it by. Move the yellow up. That's how it said. I'm cool with red. Okay. So again, it's just a personal thing.
I actually like the idea.
Don't do green.
No green? You don't like the green?
I agree.
That's okay.
Put the names in 3 helmets.
Okay,
That
awesome.
might be tricky.
Yeah.
Blue. Janik says blue.
Blue.
Too much blue versus red now, Frederick says.
Oh.
Don't like the red type. Yeah, it just didn't feel right. I mean, because everything else looks so nice and clean, the red type almost looked cheesy.
Yeah, I know.
But now it looks better to me.
Okay.
It looks better now being
Looks
blue.
good?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks? Okay. Well, we can work with it. Okay. So I'm actually let's do some mock-ups for a
Okay.
minute. Get like visual break from this one. So we'll do the cards. Let's see. So the first 6. I think there's a way to just export the JPEGs. Yeah. See if this is right.
More people like the blue than the red. Some people do like the red.
Yeah.
And I think one person said just drop the feature altogether like you were thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll work
But most
with that.
people are saying the blue looks better.
Cool. Okay. We'll just do all and just see how that goes. Export. Okay. Awesome. So I believe. So cool. So these are the cards that are exported.
Okay.
We'll go in. So I actually have some mock-ups that we can kind of go through and see. So with that being said,
Mitch, I hear what you're saying, and I agree, but just not on the type. Mitch says, I still think the red needs to be somewhere else in addition to the square.
yeah.
And I feel that.
agree.
I agree, but just not the type.
Yeah. I'm wondering if like the logo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Someone mentioned that, and I
Yeah.
like that idea, so we might have to go with that. Okay. So, here's a couple. Usually, let me get rid of that.
Yeah, Frederick's saying like an accent or something. I agree. That could work.
Yeah, that could work as well. So with mockups, I really like doing something that's fun and just like colorful and shows a variety. With my mockups, tend to be a little bit more playful and just like not so serious and clean. So I like branding my mockups especially to the project. So you'll kind of see me change the background colors and work with the colors in it and whatnot. So yeah, so we'll just go ahead. So usually with mockups, like one really big tip, and this may be like so obvious to everyone else, but you can actually select things, like just click on an object in the mockup and it will take you down to the piece that you're supposed to fill in. I guess I never learned that, and so I'd always like play around and guess which one it was, but you can actually just click it. So I just double clicked into this card right here and it brings up a different layer, and I'm gonna place one of the cards in there. So let's do this astronaut with the green. Okay, 1 second. I think there might be a stroke on it, but we'll just go with it. Okay. And I'll save it. And then once I exit out, you'll notice it's in that upper right corner.
All right, you want to know another way to do it?
Yeah.
All right, select the next one you want to use.
Okay.
And right click on the name of it.
Right click. Suddenly I get
Oh, actually, yeah, on the name.
on the name.
Yep, right click.
Like,
Yeah, right there.
my right clicking.
Oh, control.
Control.
Clicked.
Gotcha. There we go.
All right, and is there a replace contents? Yes.
Yep.
That's how you get to it too.
Oh. Yeah, that
And
might
then you
be
can
quicker.
just choose the one you want and it will
Okay.
replace it.
Oh,
But then you don't get to scale, so your
Yeah.
double click might be the better option.
yeah. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay.
Usually the replace contents works great as long as you're replacing it with something that was the same size as the original. It's usually faster that way. But in this case, scaling it's probably easier to open it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go in and add these cards in, and I'm mixing up the colors, making sure that like some aren't the same, like the yellows aren't really close together. I'm just getting like a variety of it. So okay, just gonna keep going. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, there's like the greens are starting to get a little close, so typically that's when I'll know, like, okay, I can't add anything that's green over here. I have to add pink or blue or whatnot. So
Frank's asking, where do you get your mock-ups from? Where do you get the actual miniatures?
I've actually found a lot on Creative Market and Pixie Den, I think is how you say it. And then I've also looked at some on Adobe Stock as well, so Adobe Stock has some too. But yeah, those are usually the main ones. And then other than that, like some I actually photograph. So for example, on my Behance, like the bow and the handsome and all that, those projects are actually photographs. So
Yeah, so there are some, I see people recommending, there are some on Adobe Stock. Adobe Dimensions is another product that does this, so you might want to play around in there because there are some built into Adobe Dimension.
yeah.
Why does Adobe Stock have to cost money? To pay the people that contribute. So if you were a contributor, you would actually appreciate that it costs money. That's why. But again, Adobe Stock has a lot of things that are free, like the ones in Adobe Dimension. So not everything on Adobe Stock costs. Like the template you're using for the menu was free. So there is free content on Adobe Stock as well.
Okay, so So I'm just going in and filling in colors to show kind of like, okay, even though you can't see these cards, you can see the colors for it. So like this green.
So Toadie's asking, can we contribute to Adobe stock? Yes and no. Yes, you can contribute currently. You can contribute photographs, you can contribute videos, you can contribute vectors. Not templates yet, not materials yet. And it also depends on the country you're in. So, because it's not available, the contributor program isn't available in all countries yet. So that's the no part, just depends. So if you go to, and thank you, Tim. If you go to contributor.stock.adobe.com, you can sign up to become an Adobe Stock contributor at no cost. You don't even have to be a Creative Cloud member. And you can start making money from your designs and photographs and illustrations and videos.
Nice.
Brian's asking the specs on your MacBook Pro, speed, processor, RAM, things like that. I know you said it was oh no, you have the newer one.
Yeah, it's like the brand new 2017.
2017, so
Yeah.
latest and greatest.
Yeah, so yeah, I just actually upgraded from the 2012, so it's a huge huge upgrade. And mine crashed all the time. It took like 30 minutes to open Illustrator.
That is a huge upgrade. That's a fair amount of time too to go from 2012 to 2017. So that's like a 5-year jump. That's like 500 years in computer years.
I kid you not. It took 30 minutes to open up any Illustrator, Photoshop, and then like I forget about having both open at the same time. Like it was not happening.
So Alexander's asking, what's the keyboard shortcut you're using right now for the picture transfer?
So through Illustrator to Photoshop, I pre-made some, so I'm just copying them over. I do Command C, and then I'll double click into the card and hit Command V, hit OK, and then size it. And then once I do that, I just hit Command Save, and it actually updates that new layer. So yeah, so cool. I just made a couple other extra ones, so just go in here for time.
We definitely have more menu entries this segment than I had this morning.
I'm excited to see them. Okay. Again, just filling in those colors. Sometimes mockups can be kind of lengthy.
So Dominic is asking, what do you think about making mock-ups in 3D instead of photographing them?
I think that would come in handy, actually.
That's technically what Adobe Dimension does. It works in 3D to do mock-ups.
I think it also like distinguishes it. Sometimes I'll like see a mock-up and I'm like, yep, I've seen that before, or like it looks. Some mock-ups just have that like, oh, you can totally tell it's a mock-up, but like some you're like, oh, something else was created behind, like with it, and it just becomes so much stronger. So I feel like you can do 3D and do dimension. I mess with it a little bit, and it's pretty easy to use, and I just think like messing around with it for when you have extra time can come in handy as well. Okay, I'm almost done with this.
12 minutes left for the design challenge. Keep those entries coming.
Okay.
I think someone gave you a scientific technicality that Mars doesn't ever ring around it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm horrible with like MacBook technical. Yeah, thank you. Totally.
I'm okay with Mars having a fake ring around it. It's okay because it looks cool.
Yeah. Yep. I know I was thinking of that when I was doing it, but I was like, you know what? We'll go with it.
Okay, so someone's asking, and I'm curious to know too, do you use your touch bar in the Adobe apps?
No. Well, I'll do a line. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like maybe once I learn it a little bit more, it's like a couple weeks old for me, so I'm like still not used to it.
So you're real
yeah.
new. Okay.
So I think once I get up to par, I'll be using it a lot. But
yeah, see, JP Lopez. I agree. It looks cool. May not be technically correct, but it looks cool.
yeah. Okay, awesome. So I have all my cards placed out. Usually I'll go in and kind of fix, like, there's some white borders, which I'll do that later on. But just to show you guys kind of what this will look like. And then I like to change the background color. So sometimes I'll just like test it out. So I definitely want to do something that's already in my branding colors. And I'm thinking maybe like a pink would be good. So I'm just gonna hurry and copy that over.
Brian says yes, everything is a bit too bold.
Yeah. See, keeping it somewhat calm. Sometimes I'll take off like extra textures and shadows and whatnot. I don't want that. Okay, these are the mock-up parts.
Oh, Mitch, good save. He says, not a ring around Mars. It says Tesla orbiting. Come on, folks.
Come on, yeah.
Good point. It's a Tesla Roadster with Starband.
Yes.
Orbiting.
Okay. Just going in and like seeing if I can find those shadows. If I can, I would like to lessen them just a bit, but yep, that's where that is. Sometimes I'll drop the opacity on some of these. And again, I'll kind of go in and like, sometimes there's certain ways you can color in these sides, so I'll do that later on and post a picture. But that's usually how I do mock-ups. So yeah, incorporating your colors a lot is super important and making it feel very cohesive. So I'm gonna save that out. Okay, as that's saving.
Okay, those entries are starting to come in more and more. Looking good.
Okay. Save this as a JPEG. Hit OK. All right. So we did that mock-up. Now I would like to.
And Andy is asking, everyone wants to know where you're getting your templates from, and you mentioned a couple places.
Yeah, so Creative Market and Pixie Den are my top two, and then sometimes I'll find some through Adobe Stock as well. So it's a mix of different places, but yeah. All right. So let's go back to this and tackle this one more time. Okay, so I think definitely maybe changing the name to Red would be
That could work.
the better.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Or the date.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the day would be
Yeah,
better.
because you're saying it coincides with the 4-day pass.
Mm-hmm. Like that, or both?
We'll see them both. I could go either way.
Yeah.
Either just the date or the whole thing.
Maybe, yeah, let's just do the date. I'm actually maybe just add the address at the bottom, and then we can work with placing on that in a second.
And I could have gone either way as well. It could have, yep, it could have been the Mars as well. Either one.
Yeah.
Mars, the red planet.
Okay. Maybe make this a bit smaller. Okay. So yeah, that feels a lot better. I'm wondering if we can like incorporate some blocks throughout this. I think that would make it feel a little bit more.
6 more minutes for the design challenge.
Okay. So again, just like testing this out. I'm gonna hide these for a minute. We could do something like this. It might be kind of cool.
Kevin says, yes, I like the dot, the idea of the dot above the Mars Music Festival.
Mm-hmm. You like that? Okay. Yeah, I do too. I might add it back in.
So basically what I'm saying is I'm okay with any of the things you're doing with the red except when it was on the red names of the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of these are fine with me.
Yeah. I felt the same way. I was like, something's not feeling right. So, yeah, I'm wondering if we can even make this smaller. And then do 3, and then that way. Okay. Make this like a yellow or something. Okay. Just gonna line that. Awesome. Move that down. Okay.
Brian getting in under the radar. Nice work, Brian, actually. That was worth being under the radar.
Okay.
4 minutes left.
Wondering if we just make this like a giant graphic. I think that would make it way better.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way to go, and just get rid of. Maybe add the circle above. Okay. So yeah, lots of trial and error, especially when you're not sure what goes on a key pass.
Dominic says the yellow reminds him of SpongeBob.
Yeah. The yellow's a little overpowering for me sometimes. I'm thinking like, I don't want it to look too circusy either. That's another thing. So maybe if we can get like, maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll keep it. We'll go with it for a little bit, and then we'll see how it goes. Maybe if I just switch these. Let's see, let's do this as blue, and then maybe this one is a red. Maybe that would help it. I don't think it matters. It still looks like a circus to me.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Jean says looking good.
Thank you.
Brian says, wow, where'd you learn to design so well?
Oh, thank you. Oh, I know Brian. Thanks, Brian. I guess all my art class is watching. I don't know. But they have class right now, so.
Yeah, you're probably up on a big
Could
screen in
be.
class.
That's nice. But. Okay.
Two minutes.
Let's see.
Kenzie says, looking good, Annie. We're all watching.
Hi, Kenzie. Hi, Charlie. Yep, these are all my classmates. Hi, guys.
Your fans are in the house.
Oh, you guys are too sweet.
Stephanie says, add the year.
Add the year. Yep, that's good. Good call there.
Janik says, this is looking great.
Thank you.
Where's the red dot you're mentioning?
Is that like, are we wanting it above?
Yeah, I think that was the consensus
The
that
idea?
people liked it above.
Okay, let's do that. Let me add this real quick.
60 seconds left.
Let's see, let me just copy it over.
And Gus, can you look at my question on the spreadsheet? All right, that's the deadline. That's it. I just have a question on one entry, and as soon as I get this resolved, we'll start looking at them. Ah, okay. I see what you mean. Okay, gotcha. So that means I gotta find the other one and close it. All right, okay. I'll add that last one in. Someone literally skated in right under the wire.
My total count is 24.
Okay, let me see if I don't think I have that many. Let me see. I hate when I'm missing one. Oh, no. I have 24, including the one with the wrong format. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. One of them looked like a duplicate. Hold on. Yeah, that looks like a duplicate. Hold on, now I got 23. Okay. All right, yeah, I think I might have missed one. We'll see. Okay, anyway, let's take a look at some menus.
All right. Awesome.
And if you have any critiques, you can say what you like.
And is this one spread or is this?
Yeah, this is one menu, looks like two spreads.
Awesome.
Any feedback?
I like the hand scripty type font. I think maybe with the subtitles, like the soup base and the toppings and things, maybe make that more, I feel like those two fonts kind of mix with each other, like they're two different styles, so I think maybe like keeping it more either along the lines as the original heading, but like smaller and things like that, or keeping it closer to the actual type that's on like the ingredients.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I is in small caps.
Yeah.
So either you need to bring that quote down or not make the my small caps. Mm-hmm. That's just my feedback.
Yeah.
The rest of it looks great.
Yeah.
Also on that border for the extras, it looks like it extends out a little too far into the margin.
Yeah.
Like that whole border looks like it could be moved over to the left a little bit.
And the background behind soup, like just beware of those like tiny little extra tangents that are in it as well.
So again, these are just minor tweaks, but it looks good.
Nice.
There's more to this one.
Cool. I think definitely work with line height just a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit clustered. But I like the typeface for like oysters, whatever. I like that typeface.
Okay, just want to make sure there was no more pages on that one. All right.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I really like how there's like, you included these like illustration type.
Now I want a smoothie. Thanks.
Ooh, yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Maybe I'll have to go get one after this. Yeah, I like that. I think mocking it up too, like it looks so much better. Like it looks even better when you've mocked it up and presented it in a good way. So like, I think that's really strong as well.
Brownie points.
Nice.
Anything?
Let's go through it one more time. Yeah. I think maybe you don't need the kind of like the amber or brownish yellow backdrop. I'm wondering if you like made it up the blue or something like that. I feel like those blocks are just very like heavy for this type of layout. So.
Okay.
Nice. You see the grid? That's cool how you used it. Maybe adding some color would help visually bring your eye in where it needs to, so. Taco cat. Nice. I wonder, like, if making the background a white or a little bit lighter will make it not so clustered visually and, like, kind of help it. Or even adding in, I don't know, maybe adding in, like, a different type of imagery. Like, maybe you do, like, line illustrations for it or something like that. Nice. I like this a lot. I like the colors and how you worked with it. And these like color blocking and how they're not all the same as well. I think that's really strong. I really like that. Awesome.
This looks very pro.
Yeah.
I just have to say that.
Those photos.
Yeah, this looks like, you know,
Yeah.
this menu's ready to go. Not that the other ones don't, but this one really just jumps out at me because I'm a photographer. So when you put in great imagery behind your design, it just, that's what really gets me going. So kudos to whoever did this one.
I like this as well. Yeah.
And see, the contrast here is what would not do it for me here as much as not having any pictures of the food.
Yeah.
Not that every menu has pictures of food. Most high-end restaurants don't, but it's just seeing the difference between those two really stands out. Not that they need to be compared to each other, but for me, the photos really help.
Nice.
Uh-oh, we have a loading issue. Probably not your fault. Probably the fault of... Hold on, let's refresh this one. There we go.
Nice. I think be careful about for example, the Primavera wording is really, really close to that plate. I think be careful about where you're placing your text, and maybe add it to a system grid might help with that as well, and then working with visuals that will work around that. So, but I like it. That's interesting. That's cool. I like the graphic for that. I feel like it's definitely unique. I think it'd be cool if you could play on that dot somehow, like throughout the menu as well. Like, yeah, because you have it in the front, you have it in that side. I wonder if you do like a blown up version of it on that second spread or that second page. That might be kind of cool.
It looks, again, it's just your choice of photos here really jumps out at me. It's great.
It's very clean. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like this. I feel like those the instance with those blocks behind it, I feel like visually that just is like very balancing for me. So I think in this case it really does work.
And I also I can even appreciate the paper with the fold and the shadow.
Yeah. Impressive.
Nicely done. It's the little touches like that.
I wonder if you could change, maybe like do some different symbols throughout so that they're not the same in the center. I think that would be cool. I like how you made the background image these like leaves that are very opaque. I think it'd be cool to play off that a little bit more. Yeah.
Very clean.
Ooh.
Nice use of type.
Yeah. I like the colors in it as well. I think maybe with this one, bring up like the white background. It's
Yeah,
getting
it's
lost a
too
little
busy.
bit. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's perfect on the cover or the
Yeah.
back, but and when you're actually in the menu,
Yeah.
the menu's getting lost on the background.
I wonder if you could like play off those colors. Like maybe you could use a teal as like just a solid black background, or maybe a cream or something, and just have it like that's pretty. Like I feel like that's pretty busy, and then opening it and just having it very clean and simple would be like very helping as well.
Okay. That's an interesting,
Yeah.
interesting concept. I don't think I've seen that done before, where the photographs are not the inside of the restaurant or the food; it's the outside.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
It's refreshingly different.
And I think it works with the images as well. I think that would be, yeah.
And I like how you didn't feel the need to have to include one on the back. So, again, nicely done.
I like the type. You did really good on that.
Good choice of colors, too.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yeah. I think maybe working with the spacing a little bit on everything. It's very clustered. Again, just like adding like smaller pieces to it, like those red boxes, and maybe spacing between drink special and dessert special, like giving it a little bit more space will visually help it as well.
And just for me personally, I'm a fan of the script. I like that, but I'm not a fan of the script with the line under it.
Yeah.
So either the script or the line, but not both. But I like the script. I like the choice of font and the choice of typography. And that red box is just a little, probably too tall.
Mm-hmm.
But nicely done. What the fudge? This is going to be great. I can tell already.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
A lot of work went into this one. This
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah, that's very playful and fun.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
Fun definitely is the word. All right, this last one, not in the right format.
Oh no.
So unfortunately, we're showing it, but you cannot win not in the right format.
Yeah.
All right, so Gus, did I get them all?
Yeah, dude, you did great.
All right, thanks. Okay, so now it's time for you to pick one.
All right. So, okay.
And if you need to go through any of them page-wise.
I think
just
I
let me know.
remember them, most of
Okay.
them, so.
There's 3 that were submitted in the last segment.
Ah, gotcha. So does that mean
Yeah, they can't win.
they can't win? Okay. And if she picks that one, you'll tell me.
Okay.
Thanks.
They're always so hard. And I feel like you guys turn so many in such a short amount of time,
Yeah,
so.
this is, again, all impressive work.
Yeah.
Any one of these can win.
I know Terry's favorite.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, shut up, don't say anything, don't say anything. It would be easy for me to pick one, though. Oh, and one thing I didn't notice this the first time. I like how this is set in a window.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that the first time.
like that.
Do you have one yet?
Yes,
Okay,
I have
just-
one.
I
I had one from the start.
You're quiet, so I'm like, oh, she's already picked one. I'm just going through this for the fun of it.
Okay, yeah, they're all really good, but I think my favorite one, and I remember the name, but it was the one that was with the lighter pink and the,
Okay, let's go back. You tell me when.
okay, that one.
This one?
Yeah, I love that one.
All right, this one eligible? Gus?
Still waiting to see it.
Dun dun dun.
It's good?
Yeah.
All right, this is our winner.
Yay. Good job. It looks really good. I loved it.
Oh, and that's right. I remember you like the mock-up.
I like it. If you
See,
can
it's
present
like-
it well.
If you hit that judge's soft spot, that's it.
Yep.
So for me, it was the photos. For you, it was the mock-up.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
Cool.
Nicely done.
Nice.
They were all good. No
Yeah.
complaints.
None. Awesome. It was a hard decision. It was.
No, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I know. Your heart's set. Your heart is set.
No, it wasn't. This was an easy decision for me.
That one was good
But
too.
nicely done.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
And the person's name. Who was it?
Yeah.
Hang on, let's see. Gus, you gonna tell me, or did you tell me already?
That one?
The one who won?
Oh, yeah, her name's Maria Rincon.
Maria Rincon. All right, Maria. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That was our winner.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, I think this feels pretty good to me. What do you think
Yes,
as far as this? I think
that's
we're
come a long way.
ready to mock it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me export it. I think we're good. Let me just maybe make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So JPEG. We'll just do all in this case for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I actually have a mock-up. This mock-up, again, I think it was like Creative Market or Pixie Den. But, okay. So I'm just going to do a straight on unless, yeah, let's do this one. Okay.
Oh, nice lanyard.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's just very, like, clean. Okay. So it might be cool that if we can do something up here in this part. I just like to go through it and see what exactly I can change. Okay. So the badge. Okay. Okay, so this is the thing, and I sized it right in InDesign already, so it should go. Okay, one thing that drives me crazy are these shadows. Like sometimes they're really realistic, like this glare, and I think in some cases you should have it, but
Let me see it again. You turned it off or on?
I haven't turned it on. I'm looking for this white kind of like horizontal.
Yeah, because that's like to simulate that it's behind plastic or glass.
Yeah, and it sometimes it like makes the colors look weird. So a lot of the times I'll either get rid of it or I'll lessen it. So let me see where it would be. It would be in here somewhere. This mock-up kind of has some weird labeling going on. So here we go. So yeah, I'm maybe like 10%. It was at 30 originally, but I'm not going to keep very much of it. And then a lot of times I'll look at the rest of the lighting and the shadows as well. Like this is brightening it and it's making the colors look different, so I'm going to drop that down as well. Okay.
Andy says that looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Daniel says the pass looks amazing.
Awesome.
Kevin says you could also use that for the bag shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this an Adobe mock-up? Not particularly.
No, but Adobe has some pretty good ones that, yeah.
We'll definitely try and incorporate dimension into another 3-day stream, which I'm sure we have already done it once. I'm sure we'll do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Let's maybe just do like a fun color for the lanyard, I guess. Again, trying to figure out where. Here we go. Maybe we'll make it that blue. Let's see. These colors look off to me. Oh, they're not when I click on them. So, anyways. Okay. Okay, so that just colored that piece in. Again. Okay. The struggle right now. Goodness.
But I mean, as far
There
as
we go.
your logo on it looks amazing.
Thank
I mean,
you.
your design on it.
Thank you. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I want to add anything to it. I mean, we could add like some circles or something, but I think that might be
I think
kind of busy.
I think it's great the way it is.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to add a different color background because that's like my go-to for everything. So maybe we'll do a red. Okay.
We got about 4 minutes left.
Awesome. Oh, goodness. There we go.
Next week is illustration week. So if you're enjoying these 3-day streams, be sure to, number one, make sure you're logged into Behance so you can participate in the chat. You can win the prizes, participate in everything we do. Also, you can always learn what's coming up next by looking at the schedule tab above the chat. And you can, submit ideas and things that you would love to see. And you guys have been doing great about that so far. And also note that now we've started an additional, pre-show on Monday that basically covers like the how to get started with the applications that are going to be shown that week. So Paul Tranny did one last week on XD. I did one this week on how to get started with InDesign. And next week we're doing one on illustration. I think Paul's going to do that one as well. So check out Monday at 9 a.m. for the pre-show.
Nice.
You're welcome. When do you see me again? I don't know. Whenever they'll have me.
When they make a holographic version of you to give you tips and tricks. Right?
That would be it. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so where do you go next, Danny?
Well, I think this is it.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
you go somewhere after today.
beyond. I go
Beyond
back
today.
to Utah
Go back to Utah.
tomorrow.
And you're graduating in May.
I graduate in May, and from there, I have no plans right now. So.
And where do you want to direct people to find you or see you or see your work?
Yeah, you can find me on Behance. It's behance.net/Annie Taylor Hall. And then my Instagram is the same, but with a .co at the bottom, or at the end. So, yeah. And I'll make sure I'm going to fix up some of these mock-ups and whatnot, and I'll post it on my Behance and my Instagram so you guys can see what it looks like.
Good.
I'll try.
Shannon says it's been great to watch.
Thank you.
Back to the snow.
Yeah, I know. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, so.
And the Adobe Live team just put in all your links.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Very, very cool.
Awesome.
Good times.
Cool, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for everyone
Yeah. it's been
watching, giving
And
good
Like I
suggestions.
said, we got about 2 minutes left, so if you want to flip back through some of the
Yeah.
things we've done this week,
Yeah.
just to give a visual refresher.
Totally. Okay. So, starting out.
Like in 1 minute.
Yeah. Okay. Really
Just
speed
literally,
quick.
just
Brand
flip through.
identity. We did this on Tuesday.
2 minutes? Okay.
Colors. The icons. This is like a color combo. These are the posters that we worked on yesterday. So again, these could kind of work in unison with each other or just by themselves. And then today, we worked on 2 pieces of the kind of memorabilia. I'm going to clean this mock-up just a little bit more so we don't see those white edges, but that's kind of the idea for those lineup cards. And then the lanyard.
The lanyard looks really sweet.
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome work.
So yeah, that's really cool. Maybe I'll add a different element in, we'll see.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
So what was your favorite moment this week?
Oh, I actually really like doing the live stream, like out of everything. I think yesterday was my favorite. I was really excited to do these posters.
Yeah, the blob and the
Yeah,
multi-level
the blob.
stairs, and
Yeah.
that really came out cool.
So I think that was
Multi-levels.
my favorite. Yeah.
Nice. I like the M, how it's floating.
Yeah. I think it's been fun, and I really like working with a different color palette than I'm used to. So
Awesome, awesome,
yeah.
awesome.
Cool. One more minute.
Keeps telling us 1 more minute.
But yeah.
All right.
So
So And how often do you post the Behance?
Pretty often. Probably. I have a lot more work that I need to share right now, so probably like every couple of weeks maybe.
Cool.
Instagram I post a ton, so yeah, definitely.
Well, Janet, you're welcome. Glad you guys had an awesome week. Kevin, great to see you again. I'm not sure the signed picture you're asking for, but let me know. I'll sign something for you if you want. Not a check, though. Just pictures. Maria, yes, amazing work. I agree, Annie.
Thank you.
Voodoo Val, great to see you as always.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Sweet work. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. And that's it.
All
So now we're going to say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
All right. So stay tuned for
you.
next week for illustration and catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
See ya.